amazing. So when I was making my list of movies that I may have missed, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one." So when I was looking it up, I was like, "There it is. It's on Peacock for free." I heard it was awful. I wanted to see for myself, and that is the Firestarter remake. It comes to us from Blumhouse, so I was curious about it, from that standpoint because I like Jason Blum and the work that he does over there. And this one stars Zac Efron, and it's based on the 1982, 83, 84. I forgot the year, but the original one had Drew Barrymore in it. And this one, the synopsis goes as follows. A young girl tries to understand how she mysteriously gained the power to set things on fire with her mind. So it definitely Blumhouse's attempt to try to, squeak their way into like the superhero craze. And yeah, so I had never seen the original. I like Blumhouse. I've heard nothing but just crap things about this movie. Like I haven't heard one good thing about it. So I was like, you know what? You know what? I'm going to go into this with an open mind, and I'm going to see if they're correct. So I watched the movie. It's very bad. Now, I am the type of person that generally likes most movies. I think movies are sometimes just okay. It's very rare for me to just be like, it's outright just bad. I've only had that experience like a couple times this year. The most recent one was Bullet Train. This is really bad. Uh, I don't like anything about this movie except for the score because it's John Carpenter and it's based on a Stephen King novel. And I believe John Carpenter was also affiliated with the original one in terms of the score. So, and I also heard the score for this one was basically just a retread of the original and he manipulated it a little bit. So even John Carpenter didn't care. And this is coming from the man who doesn't care that there's 1,800 Halloween movies. He just wants to get paid. God bless the man. But at least with like the new Halloween movies, he makes every single theme different. He makes it stand out from the previous one. This one, it's like he didn't care and he was an autopilot. And that was the only good thing about this movie was just the score. So, yikes. Okay, so let me just try to break this down as best as I can, but it was rough to sit through. And it's only an hour and a half. That's what's frustrating is that the credits are about 8 minutes. So it's only like an hour and like 20 something minutes. Very, very short. I think I'll start with the director, Keith Thomas, which I looked up after I saw this movie. And Keith Thomas, he directed The Vigil. Okay, so he directed this film called The Vigil, which I think I remember seeing and like I kind of enjoyed it. Um, it is what it is, but it wasn't like anything crazy. And he's done a bunch of music videos and short films and yada yada yada. So this is like his first like big major feature behind a prominent studio, and of course like Universal's distributing it. I want to start with like the story and how it was handled. Because I felt like the entire time, nothing new was added to this, nothing made it modern. There was nothing to say about this movie. It was literally just an attempt to try to make their own version of X-Men so Blumhouse could have a superhero movie under their belt. And it's one of the most egregious things I've seen from Blumhouse thus far. And I love Blumhouse. I get it. You make 3 Halloween movies, understandable. They make a lot of money. That's a great business move. This was only made to capitalize on a specific genre in Hollywood right now, but problem is they didn't give any effort. If they would have gave it an effort, that would have been a different story. But I felt like everything was just so by the books and like it just they had to hit their checkpoints as the movie was going along. Okay, this happens to go into this facility. Okay, government bad guys, little girl can't control fire. Okay, cool. And it's like they watched the old movie, they wrote down a list of things they had to hit, and that was it. There was no emotion behind it. There was no weight to it. It was just vapid storytelling that it felt like it had to be made so they can get into the superhero race. And director Keith Thomas, the one thing I really disliked about this film Most of the conversations and most of the scenes comprised of medium shots and close-ups. I'm not saying this whole movie was close-ups because that would be even worse on the eyes, but there are wide shots. But most of the conversations and most of the action taking place, medium shot, close-up, medium shot, close-up, close-up, medium shot. It's just it it causes you to have a headache, and I was like, I hate this. It feels like we're too intimate on a situation that doesn't have the emotional weight to it, so you're, like, artificially pushing in the shot to make us feel something when you should just concentrate on the script and the performances doing that for us. Like, that's what's frustrating is that it's just anyways, yeah, I hated the fact that most of the stuff was comprised of close-ups. It was just awful. Yeah, I felt like there was no passion behind it. I felt like it didn't do anything different from the original. I've never seen the original. That's what I'm saying. I watched this. I'm like, it feels like I'm watching like what the old one was. It doesn't feel like there's anything new to it. Because the way I've been kind of reading the reviews is that everyone's been saying the same thing, and I'm like, well, I've never seen the original, but if this is how it is, then I might as well just go back and watch that one. Um, so yeah, there's that. The performances are also bad. Cartoony villains. Zac Efron, listen, the man's got to make his bag. I get it. He got his paycheck, but he could have gave a crap. Felt like there was no passion behind that man whatsoever. The little girl was fine, I guess. And who's the mother? I thought she was also kind of stale and cold. It was just weird. It just once again, it felt like everyone was there to create something, make a checklist so they can have a superhero film. And on top of all that, the mythology and the story behind how these powers are created, very generic. I'm like, this is something that you would see in any comic book movie. Cool. I've already seen this. Like, do something different. Like, it's frustrating. The violence was cool, I guess. It earns its R rating somewhat. This could have easily been PG-13, I guess. I don't know. I think their R rating was wasted. Hey, listen, if you're gonna go completely bonkers with it, you might as well just like go off the scale and do an 11 out of 10 in terms of ridiculousness. Because maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if they would have turned this more into like a B level movie. Excuse me, maybe making fun of superhero films. And this is coming from someone that's a superhero fan. I don't mind if there's satire out there. I really don't. I love The Boys, for instance. That is pure satire and like what I'm already watching with like Marvel and DC. So like, I love it all. This could have done something different with that, and it chose not to. It felt like it was just a play by play. And I know people are going to be thinking like, well, you didn't see the original. How would you know? You're right. I don't know, but it feels like it was a checklist movie just from watching this. There was no energy behind anything. It was just like, gotta get this shot, we gotta get this done. Cool. Moving on. It's just like, it's just frustrating. Yeah, that's about it. I yeah. Even with the climax of the film, when we get to the main fight scene or whatever, with the little girl, starting her fires and like killing all these government officials, even that was not exhilarating. It was just like, cool, movie's almost over. So yeah, I like the music. It's about it. It's bad. However, if you wanna get drunk, or whatever, um, excuse me, turn it on. It's on Peacock for free. So, yeah, that's my review of Firestarter. Please comment down below what you thought of the movie. Yeah, whatever. So, moving on,